Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2011 movie Spy Kids All the Time in the World. So, in this movie, it takes place 8 years after the third movie, and the Spy Kids program has been defunct at the OSS, but has become the top spy agency in the world, and a retired spy named Marissa is thrown back into action along with her stepchildren, Rebecca and Cecil, when the maniacal timekeeper attempts to take over the world, and Rebecca and Cecil team up with Carmen and Junie and their robot dog and their stepmom to help save the world. So this movie is not very great. It's easily my least favorite movie in the Spy Kids franchise. It has some good moments and stuff. A lot of the best moments are when it's relying on the nostalgia of the first three movies, when they go in and they see all the gadgets from the first three movies in that little room, and there's like little scenes of it playing for some reason. It's okay, and everything, but that parts are okay, and getting to see Carmen and Junie as adults was kind of cool, I guess. But this movie just was not very great. I didn't really enjoy it. Rebecca and Cecil don't have the chemistry that Carmen and Junie had in that original trilogy. The characters just aren't as well written as Carmen and Junie were, and everything. The actors that play them, Mason Cook and Rowan Blanchard, are okay as the characters. That their acting is fine. It's not really anything to do with their acting. It's just the way they're written. They're not as believable on being siblings as Carmen and Junie were, the way they were written. And they're just not as likable protagonists either. Jessica Alba as Marissa is fine too. She's not like super great, but she's okay. And Joe McHale is their dad, who's kind of just there off and on throughout the movie. He's kind of a supporting role. He's okay too, and everything. But Jeremy Piven as the timekeeper he's an okay villain for the franchise. Not very great though. He's probably my least favorite out of the villains we've had in the movies and everything. I will say it was awesome getting to see Alexa Penavega and Daryl Sabara back as Carmen and Junie and everything. They're still great as the characters and stuff, and if the movie would have focused on one of them and their kids, I think I would have liked the movie a little bit more, but focusing it on new characters and stuff, it just wasn't as good and everything. Some sequels, they could do that where it works and stuff, like the Jumanji sequels and everything, and a lot of legacy sequels do it where it works, Jumanji, Scream, and stuff, but this movie just didn't really do it for me. It just didn't work very well and everything. I think part of it was Carmen and Junie weren't really enough. You got one 1 second cameo from Danny Trejo as Machete for, like I said, just 1 second. When time freezes up and everything, it's not really that big of a deal. And then you don't get any cameos from any of the other characters from the first three movies, and I think that's a big part of what hurt it. Is part of what made those first three movies, especially the first two, so good, is the cast, both the kids and the adults and everything, and all the people that were missing from those first three movies kind of hurt this one and everything. As a standalone Spy Kids movie, it's okay, nothing special, and everything. It repeats a lot of beats from the first one and everything. I think if they would have continued it, maybe the next ones could have been a little bit better. It's hard to say, but for what this one is, it's an alright time. It's kind of just a harmless little family movie that's more aimed at the kids. It has more jokes for kids, a lot of dumb potty humor and dumb jokes that kids would think are funny. Stuff that I might have enjoyed if I would have watched it back as a kid, if I would have been a kid when it first came out and stuff. Because a lot of the jokes that are in this are kind of in the same type of humor that they were in 2 and 3 and everything. So I might have enjoyed this one more if I would have seen it as a kid. But watching it as an adult and everything for the first time, I just thought it was mediocre, and I've only rewatched it just this one time. This was my first time rewatching it since it first came out and everything, and it just wasn't very great. It's just kind of bland and forgettable and not really worth being part of the Spy Kids franchise and everything. It wasn't worth ruining what could have been what to me was a pretty good trilogy. So anyway, I give Spy Kids all the time in the world a 5 out of 10. Like I said, there are some things that are cool and everything, but it's not very great. But the acting is fine, and you can tell that they tried to have a good time with this movie. It just wasn't very good. And also, before I forget to mention it, the robot dog, Agronaut or whatever his name is, voiced by Ricky Gervais, is easily the most annoying character in the entire franchise, even over Gary and Gertie Giggles. That dog gets on my nerves bad and everything. The entire time I kept on hoping that somehow he would have a short circuit or something like Ralph in Spy Kids 2, which Ralph was actually a likable robot character. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Spy Kids all the time in the world. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.